Prince Namor, the Submariner. The Monarch and the Monster. Talk about Latent Hostilities Department. It, the mute but menacing creature that walks like a man, has been attacked by an American sub, whose crew think he is the Submariner, but just as a deadly torpedo is fired, the real Namor arrives on the scene to do battle with it, whom he mistakes for a human-controlled robot. And if you think you can synopsize last issue's thriller in fewer words, you're welcome to try, Charlie. But how long can even I oppose both the heavily armed humans and their ghastly creation? The torpedo missed us, because the force of the robot's counter-assault propelled us over a subsea cliff. Smiling Stan Lee imperiously presents a sub-oceanic struggle of monumental magnitude by rascally Roy Thomas and dapper Dan Adkins. Oh yes, and for you credit completists out there in Marvel Land, it was lettered by adorable Artie Simek. Then, as the two flailing forms locked in grim mortal combat plunged downward into the murky depths. Those vibrations in the water above the surface, Thinman have fired yet another of their accursed torpedoes. They are willing to doom their own cat's paw in order to strike at the Submariner. The next moment, the very sea itself seems to erupt in a blinding flash of fury. Though that missile, too, missed its target still, it has demolished yon cliff. We must act swiftly or be buried alive. But even while the ever-alert brain of Namor reacts, the mind of his foe does not fully comprehend the deadly danger which confronts them both. And as the avenging son of Atlantis darts out of harm's way, it slowly raises cloudy, hate-filled eyes to behold its world crumbling about it. The robot pauses, as if dumbfounded by the hurtling boulders. Surely it can never flee to safety in time. So the humans destroyed their own creature. Yet I must waste no thoughts on false pity. For 'tis no being of flesh and blood that has perished, but merely an inhuman android. And now, at last, the moment of final retribution is at hand. Namor shall force the humans themselves to depart forever from his realm, or shall perish in the attempt. Thus speaking, and still unaware that it had been a menace to the Americans as well as to himself, the mighty Submariner streaks to the attack. But never has the Atlantean monarch made a more fearful, fatal error than to assume that his awesome foe has been lethally and irrevocably crushed. For even as an angry Namor nears the cruising sub, a sinister, silent figure stirs beneath the staggering weight of a giant boulder. It yet lives. Then its brain filled with a rampaging, all-consuming hatred for the Submariner, for all the strange wonders it has encountered since it awoke from its ancient sleep, it begins to stir, to strain powerfully, inexorably, against the massive stone. The long, fateful minutes are like the passing of an instant, as this being, which knows not the meaning of fatigue, forces the imprisoning boulder upward, inch by agonizing inch, until, with one mighty surge of its inhuman, immeasurable power, it is free, and the name of stark, unrelenting terror once more haunts the deep. As one savage thought rages through the creature's bestial brain. Kill! 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 And now to rejoin Namor himself, precisely 1 second after we last saw him. Even with their fearsome robots smashed, the accursed humans continue to stalk the fathomless depths of my golden realm. As if they, and not the true Submariner, were monarchs of the eternal sea. And yet, though they have wantonly attacked me, I cannot bring myself to utterly destroy them. Could it be because my own father was a surfaceman? But enough idle thought, now I must strike, that the air-breathers may see their folly before 'tis too late. Imperius Rex! Inside, as the startled crew of the prowling sub are still reeling from the force of Namor's blow. Man, I don't know what kind of fish we just ran into, but... Wait, look, a leak! But there's no fish in the ocean strong enough to even dent our hull. That can only mean the Submariner's still alive. Our torpedoes didn't hurt him. Then we're doomed. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the besieged craft. What gives, sailor? I thought you said the Submariner was destroyed, or at least gone. I don't get it, sir. There's been no trace of radiation since we fired those torpedoes. Something just knocked 2 holes in this oversized sardine, and it sure wasn't a passing jellyfish. For clarity's sake, we should point out again that the swabbies mistook it for a radioactive Namor stickler Stan. Radiation or not, this ship is under attack, and I want to know what's out there, whether it's the Submariner or... Wait a minute, sir! The radiation signals they're coming in strong again! Whatever we're up against, it's right on top of us? What in thunder is going on around here, anyway? Don't I wish I knew? And now, just in case any of you frantic ones are wishing the same thing, those thumping vibrations as if something just struck the submarine behind me. Or is it the same one? 'Tis another of the humans' accursed robots, like the one which was buried. But it matters not. Its menacing posture does prove its hostility. Yet it shall be Namor who strikes the first blow and the last. Taken off guard by its prey's sudden lunge, when it had expected naught but stark fear, the primeval attacker is hurled back. Then, as its massive form recoils against the sub's hull. Now it sounds like there's a prize fight taking place up there. Give the word to surface, we're going up. Yes, sir! But even as he feels the ship begin its steady ascent, the Submariner lashes out. 'Tis strange. The surface men's robot feels as if made of flesh and bone, though its skin be hard as metal. And whence comes this unaccustomed weakness, this sudden dizziness which now overtakes me? Alas, that we have no subsurface audio. Communicators, so that we could tell Namor he's suffering from concentrated radiation exposure, sympathetic Stan. Ah, the robot has fallen. Good. For if it were equipped with man-like senses, it would know that. Namor, too, can hardly stand. Rise, spiteful minion of the hated humans below, and tell your masters of your total, utter defeat. Tell them that, in the future, they enter my watery realm at their own dire peril. It seems not to comprehend, and it strives as though it would continue our battle. Then, with a speed too fast for even the sea monarch to evade, the bestial man-thing strikes. By the gleaming gates of fabled Atlantis. I am hurled back. The creature is stronger than I imagined. Or is it rather that Namor is but terribly weakened? No, it cannot be that I am destined to end my life thus, at the hands of an inhuman thing of base metal. Even now I sense it leaping, hurtling straight towards me. I must get out of its way, I must. Then, not knowing that his enraged attacker is as totally exhausted as he himself, the submariner summons every ounce of strength. For one last sudden spring. It worked! The monster will hit his own master's ship with full force. May Neptune grant that he is greatly stunned, for I can elude him. No more. The robot struck the submarine with the impact of a battering ram. And so powerful was its fearful lunge that it tore through the steel sides as if they were but seaweed. Surely that will put an end to its deadly assault. But Namor's last-ditch ruse has worked better, far better than he had dared. Nope. For, embedded in 2 feet of metal, the mute creature is dazed, and helpless. And the ultimate paradox, the supreme irony, is that neither foe is destined to know the true nature of the other, or that each had reason for hating the surface men more than each other. The robot does not move its inner mechanisms, must have been damaged. Yet, this is no time to boast of a victory. For, with each passing moment, I grow weaker, ever weaker. Meanwhile, within the vessel, an extremely startled radio officer is quickly unraveling a case of mistaken identity. Look on the scanner! Some kind of monster's crashed through the bridge! I don't know what it is, but it sure isn't the Submariner. Whatever it is, it's a walking radioactive pile. This Geiger counter's going way wire. Seal off that area on the double. As for the Submariner, I don't know where he is, but we sure owe him an apology. However, if the sub's officers could but know it, the regal Namor, at this very moment, is in need of far, far more than a mere apology. Everything's spinning around, but mustn't black out, mustn't. If I do, I'll be at the mercy of her. We'll be surfacing in a moment, Sparks. Get a detail ready for repair duty. We've got a few holes to patch up in this sardine. Aye, sir. And tell all hands to keep clear of the bridge. We'll let the AEC boys worry about that one when we dock. Atomic Energy Commission. What else? Scientific Stan. Thus, scant seconds later, the mighty sub cleaves the surface, unaware of the all but unconscious figure which slumps helplessly from its deck. Too weak to swim, but I must escape capture by the air breathers. My one hope of survival is to sink, to let the cold waters of the ocean floor strengthen me. Or, if I be fated to die, 'tis there that I would meet my destiny. Down, ever down into the wintry, wine-dark depths descends the powerless Namor. Until. It worked, though. I am yet weak. Now I can control my limbs. But what sinister shape do I behold, mere fathoms below? The next moment, as a somewhat revived Submariner veers sharply upward. A giant octopus, only one of the fearsome denizens which dwell in the icy deep. Writhe your deadly tentacles as you will, monster. The Prince of Atlantis shall not fall into your clutches. Perhaps another time, another hour, we shall clash. But not today. Finally, the slowly swimming monarch at last approaches his fabled domain, whose gleaming spires bespeak an age when all the seas were Atlantis to command. My long journey has robbed me of what little strength I had. I must reach the Medi-Ray chamber quickly, lest I perish. But now, whate'er befall, let all know that Namor returned to his golden realm, victorious. However, an all-wise fate has not yet decreed the death of one so brave, so fearlessly valiant, for, a short time afterward, our liege has suffered an intense amount of radiation exposure. That would be fatal to surface man or normal Atlantean. Only because he is a hybrid with human father and Atlantean mother may it be possible to save him. Then, some days later, a rapidly recovering Namor receives a most welcome and most royal visitor. My Lady Dormatis, ever of you I have thought these last lonely days. And I of you, my prince, though none were allowed to see you. But now the danger is past. The danger to me is past, but not that to my kingdom. What mean you, sire? Your physicians said you dreamt of a robot, a dread monster whose power did equal your own. Aye, Dorma, but 'twas no mere nightmare that crossed my tortured brain. Such a robot exists, the creation of the accursed air breathers. And now I know it is also radioactive. But, my lord, even if 'tis true, how can we prevail against the teeming numbers of surface men? I do not yet know, my lady, but Atlantis shall bear their hostility no longer. Therefore, know you this. On the day that Namor again sits his royal throne, that day shall I summon my council of war. Next Ish. The call to battle. Next issue. Tales to Astonish. Number 92.